All right, let's talk about a massive risk that's kind of creeping into offices everywhere, right under our noses. We're talking about unauthorized AI. I mean, think about it. One day, AI is this far off, futuristic thing. And then, boom, seemingly overnight, it feels like everyone on your team is using ChatGPT or some other cool AI app. It just happened, didn't it? And it all went down without any big company wide training session.
There was no official memo, no email explaining the rules of the road.
And here's the real kicker, without anyone really stopping to think about the dangers. And that right there is where our story really begins.
So this super fast, totally uncontrolled adoption, it creates this huge blind spot for businesses. It's a phenomenon we're calling shadow AI. So in this explainer, we're going to break it all down. We'll start with AI's quiet takeover, define what shadow AI actually is, dig into the serious data security risks, ask the hard questions that businesses are facing right now, and then talk about a structured solution. And finally, we'll explain why AI itself isn't actually the enemy here.
So, why did this happen so fast? Well, the answer is pretty simple. And honestly, if you put yourself in an employee's shoes, it makes perfect sense.
AI saves a ton of time. It's an incredible productivity booster. You know, your colleagues are using these tools to write emails and reports way faster, to get instant summaries of super long documents, to automate all that boring, repetitive work, even to get help in meetings. When a tool gives you that much of an edge, of course people are going to use it, whether they have permission or not. And that right there brings us to the heart of the problem. This kind of organic, bottom-up explosion of technology, it has a name. And it's a name that should really make every business leader sit up and pay attention. You see, a lot of businesses have basically introduced AI into their workplace completely by accident. Their employees just started using it. This is shadow AI. And it's this complete lack of control, of governance, that opens the door to some really serious problems. Now, this idea isn't totally new. You've probably heard of shadow IT, right? You know, when employees use their personal Dropbox for work files or something like that. But shadow AI, whoa, it is a completely different animal. We're not just talking about storing a file anymore. We're talking about incredibly powerful systems that can process and actually learn from massive, and I mean massive amounts of information. The scale of the risk is just exponentially bigger. And that leads us to the most immediate, most tangible danger of shadow AI, the huge risk to your data security. And believe me, this isn't some theoretical thing anymore. This is happening right now, today. Just to get their work done a little faster, employees are literally copying and pasting all kinds of sensitive stuff directly into these external AI platforms. We're talking confidential customer data, contracts, internal business plans, financial reports, even super secret source code. And a lot of the time, they don't even realize they're doing anything wrong. They're just trying to be more efficient. And this gets to the fundamental problem. Your company has firewalls and security for a reason. But the second an employee uploads sensitive data to an outside AI tool, it's gone. It has left your secure little bubble. You lose all visibility, all control over where that data goes, how it's being used, or who might get their hands on it. So this new reality, it forces organizations to face a wave of really difficult questions that, frankly, a lot of them are just not prepared to answer. These aren't problems for tomorrow. They are urgent business challenges for today. First up, what's the actual rule? Are people allowed to use public tools like the free version of ChatGPT for their job? If you don't have a clear policy, they're just guessing. And that is a huge gamble. And what about the data itself? What's off limits? Is summarizing an internal memo okay, but a client contract is not? Where do you draw the line? And whose job is it to make sure the entire company knows where that line is? And finally, who's the gatekeeper? If a team wants to start using some new AI tool, who's in charge of checking if it's safe? Is it IT, legal, or is it just the Wild West? These questions, they need answers like yesterday. Okay, I know, that all sounds pretty alarming. But here's the good news. The answer isn't to just panic and try to ban AI. Let's be real, that almost never works. Instead, the way forward is all about creating structure. Organizations need a clear, manageable game plan. So, step 1, write down clear policies on what tools are okay and how to use them. Step 2, actually train your employees on the risks so they get why the rules are there in the first place. Step 3, you've got to classify your data so everyone knows what's public, what's confidential, and what absolutely under no circumstances can ever leave your system. Step 4, create a formal process for vetting new AI tools before people start using them. And finally, step 5, you have to keep the conversation going about ethics and compliance. So as we wrap this up, there is one single most important thing I want you to take away from all of this. It's so easy to look at this problem and think technology is the bad guy. But that's just the wrong way to look at it. Let's just let that sink in for a second. AI is not the enemy. Uncontrolled AI usage is the problem. Artificial intelligence is an incredibly powerful tool. I mean, it can unlock amazing innovation and productivity. The tool itself is not the issue. The real problem is the lack of guardrails, the absence of rules, the failure to actually manage how it's being rolled out. So the bottom line is this. Managing AI isn't just an IT thing anymore. It's now a core part of running a modern business, just like having financial oversight or HR rules. And ignoring it, well, that's basically just asking for serious legal, privacy, and reputational damage. And that really just leads us to one final thought. The AI revolution isn't coming. It's already here. It's operating in the shadows of your organization right now. So the only question left is, are you ready for it? Thanks for joining this explainer.